A convicted felon on parole gets caught with a gun and admits he knew it was illegal. But then he reveals he was shot months earlier, and that claim could change everything.
Do you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Charlie Perkins.
All right, and before we begin with questioning, here's the thing. I know that people say they have bad childhoods, their father's not in their life, maybe their mom's not in their life. But you know what I always want to know? At what age do we reach when all of our decisions are our decisions, and it's not because my father wasn't around? No. I'm just putting that out there. So now when questions are asked, we'll see where we go, okay? All right, you may proceed.
Mr. Perkins, you're telling this court and the PSI officer that you were driving and you had a firearm in the vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where it says guilt minimalized, guilt declined to discuss, and guilt acknowledged, there's a mark on guilt minimalized. You see that? So that you're saying that you're and I underlined it. You're driving, you had a firearm, you had a Glock on you. You did this, you misbehaved, you're on parole, you shouldn't be carrying a firearm. Correct. I believe your mother said that the last grade you attended was your 6th grade, but I believe it was your 9th grade. 9th grade. And you didn't know this until the PSI came out, but you have a 2nd grade reading level, correct?
Yeah, the reading grade is myself.
So
I can read, I read myself this all day.
Is it comprehension?
Yeah, like I can read. I just can't spell them.
Okay.
And you were in special education classes while you were in school. Make sure you speak loud. When you were on parole, that was around the end of 2024. So from January 2022 through pretty much the entire 2024, you were in prison.
Yes, sir.
Maybe early January 2025, you're on parole. And from that time till you're arrested, you had work, you're employed.
Yes.
During the time you're on parole, you were a victim of a ag assault deadly weapon. You were shot.
Yes.
Do you know if the person was ever arrested for that offense? You were taken to a hospital for the shooting.
Yes, sir.
All right. Law enforcement never followed up with you?
And I'm sorry, when would this have been, counsel?
8 months prior to February 2020. About 8 months prior to February 2026. And you know that as a convicted felon, you cannot possess firearms.
Yes,
On parole, you cannot possess firearms.
sir.
On probation, you cannot possess firearms.
Yes, sir.
Even if you had waited out the parole or discharge, there's a 5-year period where you still cannot possess firearms. You understand that?
Yes.
The area you're at where you're shot, the area where you associate with, you don't want your son growing up and being around the same area as you, correct?
Yes.
You want your son to have a better life than you. The prior gun case the state had referenced an unlawful carry weapon, that was a misdemeanor unlawful carry weapon in 2021, correct?
Yes.
So you were not a convicted felon until January 2022?
Yes.
You understand the judge can sentence you up to anywhere from 2 years to 7 years prison?
Yes.
You're asking the judge to give you probation?
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything you want to tell the judge in asking her for considering probation?
Yes, I know I was on parole. I wasn't going to carry a gun. It wasn't me. It wasn't an accident. I did it. I was just misbehaving. And I got shot. So I didn't get protection. I know I was supposed to keep it, but I wanted protection. I just kept a gun on me. But I was trying to get probation or whatever, so I could just I do get probation and move out of San Antonio to change my life. I was taking it myself when I came home, put him in school, I put him in football. I was doing what I had to do, but I didn't know how to carry a gun. You know, I'm a gang member and all that. I ain't gonna die, nothing like that. So if I move out of San Antonio, get a job, just work and do what I gotta do. I ain't gotta worry about nobody shooting my car, doing none of that. So I put 10 on my cars. I was just shot like that.
And I believe in the PSI there is some mention that you haven't been associated with the gang since 2020. All right. I pass the witness.
All right, state.
Yes, Judge, just briefly. Mr. Perkins, on the offense date, why did it take you so long? Or I guess not so long. Why were you leaving and didn't immediately pull over?
I put up to the parole place. I was already down the street from where I was going to, so I put up right there. I was gonna put up right there.
Okay. And then when the officer approached, the report states that he smelled air freshener. Do you remember reading that, Mr. Pinky?
Yes.
Did you spray air freshener?
I just I always keep my car clean. Cause I know I carry the gun, so I'm like, I'm gonna keep it clean. I don't smell the weed. I ain't spraying the air for something like that. I ain't spraying. They say I spray something, but I ain't spraying that.
Okay. And were you able to detect the scent of marijuana yourself in the vehicle?
No.
Okay. And were you surprised, I guess, when the officer did find marijuana in the car?
Yeah, but it was like less than the ground. I be having people in my car, so it less than the ground. It was like less than the ground.
So is it your testimony that wasn't the marijuana in your possession was not yours?
It was like less than the ground, like on the floor and stuff. You just scraped it up. It was like that. It was like bags of weed and nothing like that in my car.
Okay, and whose car was that?
It was a mine, in my name.
Okay, and how did you get that vehicle?
I was working, had a job. I was saving my money. I bought me a car. They sold me a car, no license. Bought me a car. I needed to get to work and stuff.
Okay, so even though you know you don't possess a license, you thought the best decision was to get a car so you could get to work. Is that fair?
Yeah, I got insurance, but I was trying to get my license, but I accidentally went around too. I was too busy working and stuff.
Okay, and how did you get the firearm on the instant offense day?
I had got it. I was riding out. I always kept going up to my protection.
Yeah, but my
After I got
question is,
shot.
how did you get it?
I got it. I bought it. I spent some of my money. I checked money and stuff like that.
Who did you buy it from?
I don't really know like that.
Okay, so you remember in the stipulations, right, when the officer ran the gun, it was returned to be stolen. So you
I didn't steal it or nothing like that.
So you
Okay.
purchased a gun from someone and you didn't know the whereabouts. Is that fair to say?
It's not.
Okay. And on direct, you testified that you know you're not supposed to possess a firearm, correct?
It's not.
So how can you reassure the court that this time is going to be any different than the past?
Because if I was to get probation or something like that, I'd move out of San Antonio. Just do right. I ain't got no people trying to kill me or nothing like that. I ain't got to look behind my back. I know I ain't gonna carry no gun because I ain't in my San Antonio, I ain't in my city. So I just do what I need to do, take care of myself, do what I gotta do.
Where was Charlie Jr. on this offense date?
I believe he was at home. I just
Okay.
got out of work early that day.
And then on the June 5th, 2025 robbery date where you were getaway driver, where was Charlie Jr.?
He wasn't even born yet.
2022?
I don't think he was born yet.
That was 4 years ago.
He probably was. I don't really remember. He probably was born. He was probably at my baby mom's house or his mother's house or something like that.
No further.
Any other questions?
So just yes, the robbery date was 2020, June 2020. So technically, your son wasn't born yet in June 2020. But
Yeah.
when you were
That was my year during conviction date.
but when you were sentenced, it was January 18, 2022, where your son had been born. No further questions.
All right. Any other witnesses?
No other witnesses.
State any witnesses.
No, Judge.
All right. The court will hear arguments. State.
Judge, we ask that you deny applications for deferred in probation and sentence to 7 years in the prison. Mr. Perkins, although I will concede that he admits to possessing the firearm and then operating the vehicle that he purchased, he continues to engage in criminal activities. I don't think he would be a good candidate for probation because he's his mom and his sister, and he even states that he intends to reside with people that he has been with when he gets into his prior, or when he got into his prior incidences of crime. So I don't think that's a good environment for him, and I don't think that he will be successful. He does have a prior MTR, and he was ultimately revoked because he pled true to the number one UCW. And although that UCW date occurred prior to him being convicted on the robbery, he's still possessing guns. That's the issue. So boiling it down, Judge, I know he's aware that he's not supposed to possess these guns, but he continues to violate rules, and I just don't think he's going to be a good candidate.
All right, defense.
Judge, the priors that he's had as an adult is one conviction. He has a lot of juvenile cases that I would hope that you wouldn't use a juvenile against him. The juvenile cases appears to all be misdemeanors. I know that robbery is a serious felony. He has about 4 months left on parole. He has a parole hold. He can't get out. He never got a GED. He has a second grade reading, writing skills level. There was mention of a ISF, cognitive behavior, MRT. He's willing to go inpatient, and I would like it if you could order him to get a GED also, improve his job skills. He knows that he can't have a gun. He can't have a gun for protection. He doesn't want his son to be in the same area and neighborhood that he grew up. He wants to take his son and go outside San Antonio. The only investigation, to my knowledge, that happened with him being shot was the law enforcement seized his phone to see if there's any information that they can get from a phone, but they never gave him back the phone. There's been no follow-up where he was shot. He went to a hospital. They gave him some pills. They never gave him surgery. He still has a bullet in his back. He didn't have to go through rehabilitation
Wait a minute. So he went to the hospital
for 2 days,
for 2 days.
and they gave him pills, and he
They
walked
didn't
out.
perform surgery, didn't remove the bullet.
And they didn't investigate who shot him, but they kept his phone. We can't make excuses about his father not being in his life, his
Let me
education.
ask you this. So do you know personally that he went to the hospital and they just gave him tablets, or is this just through your client?
Through my client, and interviewing him before the PSI.
Okay.
But there's no case where he's listed as a victim. The only case he has is this case here that the state has. We're asking for probation, 7 years probation. I think a structured environment would
So
help
is
him.
there any proof that he filed a report and was shot?
I already knew that, Judge, unless I charge as a thief. This is the first time I've heard of this.
I was on the news when I got shot.
Oh, well, let's Google.
Let me Google it.
And was that before this offense?
That was when I was on parole. Just
No. My question is, this shooting, was that before this offense? All right, if you all want to step back and see if you all can find that, and then,
Yes, Judge.
and who knows, maybe the state may decide something else. I don't know.
Have a seat. Take care of that.
To
Yeah.
my client's sister's phone. This is a photograph taken September 12th, 2025, and you can swipe it to the right. There should be,
Oh, no, I can see. All right.
in the September 12th, and I'll swipe it. There's a few pictures. And that date, September 12th, lines up with the KSAT news article from September 12th, 2025, where a man is dead after double shooting near East Side Sports Bar. It was a Vibe Sports Bar. Charlie Perkins was shot in the leg, went through the leg, the butt, and the bullet ended up in his back.
And what day of the week was that? Do we know?
I can, September 12th, 2025.
Friday? And does anybody know what time that was?
The investigator said he is sending a reporter.
Oh, okay, we'll have the report. Are you okay to
Setback.
remain? Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Was he carrying the gun for protection, or did he simply break the rules again? What do you think the judge should decide? Comment below, and subscribe for more courtroom stories.